How are we doing today? My name is Spectrum Dominus, and we are here cleaning cards for PSA. This is the second of 4 videos. It is the second of the TCG. Wow, I can't acronyms, baby. The TCG video. So if you watch video 1, you'll see we have gone through Pokemon cards, 1 from Lucas, 5 from Ricky, and then 5 from myself. We even screwed up. We cracked them out of cases and damaged at least 1, if not 2 of the cards. So that sucks. Really gonna have to see if I can find a better way to do that. Especially with tag. I haven't had a problem in the past with the next level grade cards that cracking, or even Beckett, or yeah, I haven't done SGC, but Beckett and TCG. Next level grades I was okay with. I may have just gotten lucky, but tag I did 5 and damaged I think 2 cards. We'll see how that plays out. But today we got to finish that because they got to be a 20 card minimum. So we have 2 shipments going. So this will be the end of the TCG shipment. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We did 11 in the first one. There are 21 cards in total. So this one is not just Pokemon. There is 1 Pokemon card that is from a friend's collection that he doesn't even know I took. I took it. We're going to grade it, give it to him. Hopefully it comes back at 10. We give it to him. I figure I can always just crack it and hand it back to him if it doesn't. But it's it's between $60 and $90 card, so I figure grade it. We'll see what happens with it. And then we got some Magic and some other stuff. We'll see as we go. And then that'll be this video, and then the next 2 videos will be football and baseball cards for the sports aspect. And then we'll package them all up, send them off, and I'll see you guys in 3 months when I do an opening. But let's get started. Let's switch to the full scene here. And we're starting, this is the card I was talking about. I know nothing about Pokemon, very little. I know what I know through Pokemon Go and through just people's random talking about it. I'd love to get into it. I'd love my life to have unlimited time. If I had unlimited time, I could work more, make more money, and then I could also use that money to buy Pokemon cards and play Pokemon and learn all about it. But we're going to learn the slow way. We're going to randomly buy stuff and try to have our friends show us what we do. But until then, this one I looked up on tcgplayer.com. I think that's what it's called, which is kind of a I wish they had that for sports cards. I'm sure they do. People will come back and say, oh yeah, they got sports card investor, and I'm like, yeah, it doesn't work the same. It's not as easy, and I don't believe it. And you have to pay for anything, for a lot of stuff. So I just want something as simple as TCG Player to show me the value of cards. This one came up as, I believe I checked it twice, once a little while ago and once recently, and once it was 60 something and once it was 90. That's what I have in my head. I don't know if that's true, and I don't remember which was which. Maybe it was 90 and it's coming down. Maybe it was 60 and it's going up. But either way, I figure it looks like it's in nice condition. It's a valuable card. We're going to slab it up for him. So we'll see how this goes. We can take it out of the top loader. We're going to pull it out, and then now that it's out, we can actually take a better look and see if it really looks as good as it looks. And I think it does. I think it looks real nice. That's from the naked eye. We all know sometimes my naked eye gets us a 6. Like on the Topps Don Mattingly that I could have swore I was going to get a 9, and only because I didn't think they'd be willing to give me a 10, but I thought that was a 10. It looked real nice, and then it came back a 6. So I don't believe it's a 6. I definitely don't. And maybe I'm giving you a little spoiler here, guys, but maybe we're going to crack a PSA card and resend it and see what happens. Hint, hint, hint. All right, so let's get it a new sleeve, even though the one it was in was a new sleeve. slide it in there. And then grab these semi-ridged card holders, and this time we're using card holder 1s instead of card holder 2s. So much better, much easier to get them in there without damaging. I often wonder if I did some damage to the cards. Putting them in there. I don't think so, but all right. So that's it for Pokemon. The rest is other stuff. Most of it's going to be Magic the Gathering. Now, the Magic the Gathering cards I'm sending are ones that TCG Player and even on eBay I went and looked had values, decent values, but they're not in the greatest condition. These are cards that I actually went through my decks that I was playing with for decades. In some cases, in all cases but one of the cards. One of the cards I started back up right after we opened back up from COVID, and me and a friend would meet up and we'd go to a shop and we'd buy one of their pre-put set, decks, and we'd sit on opposite sides and play the pre, not knowing anything about it. We'd play one time with the new deck, and then we'd play one of our old decks just for fun, and then either go to lunch or go home, whatever. But so I do have some newer cards that are 5 or 6 years old. I really loved that. I need to find a friend I can do that with again. But that has to be done, whether it be a Magic the Gathering or Pokemon. I've got to get with someone and start doing that. Just once a month, meeting up and going and buying a deck of cards or enough to make a deck, so that I get new cards and get decks and and play the games, because that's fun. But this card here is one of the 2 really expensive ones, not in great condition, but it's a Mox Diamond. And when I looked online, you could see I have these aren't in just regular sleeves. They were in hard-backed, tougher sleeves because I played with them. We shuffled these, but even before that, I used to just shuffle them like a deck of cards. So they're not in the best condition. But what I determined is this one was, the last 2 sales were $575 and $650 or something like that, and that was raw. I looked at some graded versions, and it didn't seem to matter. I saw a 9 that sold right about the same price, and I saw a 6 that sold right about the same price. The point is, this card is so useful, people are buying it, and they'll crack it to put it in their deck. So I don't really care. I want to get it graded so that it doesn't keep getting damaged, so that it stays with the part of my collection that I know where everything is, rather than disappears like so many cards has over the years. And if I want to crack it at some point or sell it, and if I only get a $200 offer because it's graded at a 6, then I'll crack it and sell it as a raw. So, but today we're going to, I've touched this card so many times in my life. Before we even did that, so I don't even need to. We need to save these sleeves. All right, we're gonna do a little, but you can see on it how, because of the black, there's chipping all around. It's not in great I mean, I gotta be honest with you, it's in pretty good condition considering, but let me touch it again and then I'll wipe it again. But I think you can see right there next to the letter A, when I angle it, there's some kind of a stain that doesn't actually show when you look at it straight on. You got to have the, but yeah, we're gonna send this in. I don't think there's anything on it. I don't think there's anything, honestly. I don't think I'm really doing anything by wiping it off like this. But this is the most expensive card I've sent, and it will be the most expensive card in my graded collection, probably in my collection, when I get it back. Well, I mean, it's still my most expensive card. I'm just really excited. This one probably, I mean, there's two ways to go with this when I get it back, and the next card as well. I could either put it in my safe and say, boom, it's in my safe. I don't imagine it going down. It's just going to go up as long as Magic the Gathering is a thing. Or two, taking the two of them and selling them for over $1,000. This one here, Gaia's Cradle, is the other one. And this one, the last two sales was 6 something, and actually it was 70 something and 755 or something like that. So they were both over 700, I think. So this is a $700 card. It sucks because both of these cards were major cards on my two favorite decks. I had an artifact deck that the Mox Diamond was in, and I had a it was every color deck that didn't have any land. It was designed to make you pull, like the deck was, it was a fat deck, and it was almost all creatures, and it just had cards in there that made you pull cards straight from your hand into the deck, or straight from the top of the deck into the onto the board. It was a fun one to play with. I didn't win with it often because you did have to get one of those special cards, and I think I put too many creatures in it to do it. But if you got one of those cards early, it was hard to beat, and it was so fun. And this type of a thing, you know, you had one of these lands, and then it's like you have so many creatures because the whole deck was creatures. Was you turned it, and it's like, okay, well, that's 32 lands, and we have all these creatures. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I used it in that deck. I think I used it in my green-white deck, which was my third favorite deck. I had yes, it was, because I had a Killer Bees in there, which the Killer Bees played for 1 green, question mark, 1 green X, and for every mana extra more than the 1 green you turned, the Killer Bees was a 0/1 creature, and it got a +1/1. So it was a 0/0 creature, or it was a 1/1 creature. I'm not sure, but it was a small little nothing. But I got a lot of cheap creatures out there, and then I could turn this, and it's like, okay, you have 32 mana. Now the flying Killer Bees are 32. So that's the deck it was in. So I'm losing for that deck my major kill shot. But it's a $700 card, so yeah, we're not too worried about that deck. We'll buy new cards. But yeah, $700, $600. If I sell them both for, you know, $1,200, $1,300, that could really help out. And again, you can see under the C, the CR, there's a little spot there. It almost looks like a little I think there's a butterfly flying under the cradle, under the word. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm lucky and it's not a spot. But I mean, it's got a little bit of a wave to it up there, sitting in, I guess, something that was too warm at some point, and it warped the card. I didn't collect Magic the Gathering. Baseball cards don't have a purpose. They are literally to collect. That's all they're there for. So I collect them and I take care of them. Trading card games are to play with. I never saw them as valuable in that sense. And because of that, I never took care of them. And now we're seeing the backlash. Now, I'm not saying never took care of them as in recently, because you saw I had them in. But that happened, again, right after COVID, when I got back into it and put the decks in sleeves. Because by then, I realized that cards had value, these kind of cards. But when I was playing with them, when I was in my late teens or whatever, I did not get that. All right, so the rest of them are, again, good stuff, but we're talking about values between 27 and 100 and something, you know, and I don't remember which ones are which. This is a Grin Monolith. What I did was anything that when I was flipping through that has this gold. This is one of the things I liked about Magic the Gathering. It has a symbol there. The symbol, which is different. This symbol is for the Gaza set. The Gaia's Cradle. So Gaia. That's for, I don't know the name of the sets. That's for a different one. They're all from different sets. And then if they're just black and white like that, it's a common card. That Mox Diamond, $600 something was a common card in that. This gold one, there's a silver one, means it's uncommon, and then these gold means rare. So any of my cards that showed as rare, I looked up, and most of them are worth $1 or something like that for being rare. But I checked every one of them, and then going through anything that I played with that myself, I remember thinking I was extremely happy when I pulled this card, like the Killer Bees. I checked, and the Killer Bees aren't worth anything. It's a 10-cent card. But the Monolith, I remember being happy about pulling. Well, not that. I mean, I checked it because it was gold. But the Mox Diamond, I remembered being happy about pulling it. It was useful. So I checked it, and I hit it. So that might mean there are other cards in my decks that are valuable too, that I just didn't really get the concept or have the desire to play that way, that style, and so I didn't use it. You can see how chipped up these things. This is just a case of me putting some of my best cards in and getting 5s and 6s and being okay with it. I'm not sending these cards. I wouldn't be sending these cards, although I'm not sad that I'm sending these cards. I wouldn't be sending these cards if I had more TCG cards, if I had more Pokemon cards, if I had other people that were wanting to send Pokemon cards. But I had to get to the 20. And then when I got to 20, I needed to pick one more to go, and I had Memory Jar and Lifeline, 2 more that are coming. And they're both $20-something cards, and I really couldn't choose between them, so I was just like, I'll send them both. It's fine. Doesn't matter. All right. The Tolarian Academy here, it's a legendary land. It's similar type thing to the Gaia's, and it's in the same. So what they did is in this set, they came up with these legendary lands, and they gave you different magic for different things. The green one gave you for the animals and crows. This one's for every artifact you control. So I told you the Mox Diamond came from an artifact deck. This was in my artifact deck because everything was artifacts, which meant I could get dozens and dozens of blue mana because of how many artifacts I had. And artifacts are colorless mana. You can use any mana you want. So it was real easy to get cards out of my hand with that card. It's a real good card, but it's a $120 card-ish, depending on what day you look. And I just figure I'll sit out there. Makes me wonder if I apparently I was buying cards back with Gaia. That was one of the sets I collected, and not sets I collected, but I mean it's one of the times that I was. One of the times I was collecting, I was buying during that time period. Makes me wonder if I have any of the red, black, assuming there is a red, black, white legendary land. I suspect there is. Now this one, I don't remember the price. I suspect it's in the $20 range, but this one is a newer one. This is one of the ones I got playing. I pulled this out of the deck. That was a pre-made deck. It's a pre-made deck that I bought in 2022, something like that. While me and Lucas, the same guy who sent the one Gengar card in this, we would meet. He's the guy that I was talking about. I'd meet a friend once a week and we'd go buy Magic cards. And now he's much bigger into Pokemon. Oh, I didn't even notice that chipping before, but that's okay. We're not doing this for anything but to diversify, guys. I've said I want someone to go through and see all sorts of different cards and card types and grades and whatever. Well, I'd like them all to be 10. I don't want diversity in grades. But types. I want them to look through and I want them to see wrestling cards and sports cards and Pokemon cards and Star Wars cards and Buffy the Vampire Slayer cards, and so it's why I grade all this stuff. I'm a little sad I sold my Yoda card, but at the same time it didn't come back what I wanted. I need to send the Han that's back here. Hopefully that'll get a better grade. But yeah, my whole point is I don't want to necessarily grade things that everyone else is grading. I want things with low pop, or if you come to, I want something to pull people to my table. Not that I have a table. I don't even think I'll ever have a table. That's not the point. But the concept of pull people to my table. Oh, look, that's an R2-D2 card I've never seen. Oh, I'm a big Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. Look at that graded Buffy. And then when they're there, there's a lot of other stuff that they don't see at other spaces. Because when you go to a card show, every table seems the same. It seems the same, and it's not that it's the same. It's that what's the difference if you're not looking for a Patrick Mahomes rookie card, if that's not what you're into, if that's not what you're buying? What's the difference in seeing a Prism Mahomes rookie here and a Mosaic Mahomes rookie here, and they're all different cards, but if you're not looking for them, they're the same card. So I want my imaginary table to be different. I'm not saying nobody has these cards, but now this Lifeline, this is one that, aside from that little chipping at the top right there, is in very good condition. Oh, nope, that bottom it's hard to tell with the white. We should have used the black under these with black chipping. It's a lot different. It looked better because it was on the white. I lied. It's not as good. But still, this is it's about $27 or something like that. And part of me sits here and goes, well, are you sure you want to send that in for $27? It's does more help in your deck. But my thought process is there are cards that I'll sell for what they're worth, and there are cards that I will not. Someone comes to me and says, oh, look at that Lifeline, I want that. And I was like, okay, just so you know, I don't want it out of my deck. I still use that card in my deck theoretically, not right now because it's graded, but I'm not opposed to cracking it and putting it back in my deck. And because of that, $27 is not really what I'm willing to sell it for, even though that's its value. So yeah, I appreciate it, but I don't plan on selling it. It's just there as a look. Like, but what if I want it? I was like, well, if you want to give me $40 for it, that's fine, but that's me asking too much because it's not worth $40. Just kind of my mindset. All right, so the last two cards are from two different things. I showed you already, Buffy, and we've done one of these. This is from the Young Jedi card game. We did an R2-D2, came back, I think, a 6. This is Darth Maul. These are the only two I have of this. I have Young Jedi cards somewhere, but I think these are I believe, I don't remember exactly, but definitely the wrestling ones. I didn't send any of the wrestling cards, but I started going through my raw deal cards too, and they all have This is the Undertaker deck, and it looks like this. It's a foil card that looks almost exactly like this, and then all the other cards aren't foil. So I don't know if this is like the deck type thing, or if you can have multiple of these cards in these decks. I don't even remember anything about this game. But I do think that it's a cool looking card, and if it comes back, and especially if it came back like an 8 or a 9, I obviously, with it not having been protected for years and just sitting in my collection, I don't expect to get a 10. In fact, I'd be shocked to get a 10. So I just think that if I could get an 8 or a 9 on that, that'd be nice. I hope it doesn't come back a 6 like the R2 did. All right, and this, if you've been watching the videos, came from, I had a box of these decks, and the problem was there was only a few types of decks, so it was the same cards over and over and over again. So I have a bunch of the same cards, and I have some of the decks that are still unopened because I stopped opening them. There was no reason to. But it's from the Buffy the Vampire Slayer Class of 99 trading card game. And this is similar to the Darth Maul card in it's Buffy. Hero Slayer is the name of the card. There are multiple Buffy Summer cards, but she's, main character. But it's foil, and it's, they don't make a non-foil version of this. I think this is the only foil. Every one of these cards are foil. But the cards are not generally foil, so this is a more special card. I have a bunch of cards from this set that I would like to send at one point or another, but I figured let's start with one. Let's send one Buffy. If we send one at a time, every time we do a TCG, we just send a Buffy, then we send a Xander, then we send a die cut, someone, and just get these done as well. But anyone who knows me knows that this is my favorite TV show of all time. I think Buffy the Vampire Slayer is the greatest television achievement of all time. I don't know. I just made that up on the spot. But no, I do think that it's the best story, best character development of any show I've ever seen. I just love it. I do. All right, so let's quickly go through Buffy. We got Darth Maul, the Lifeline, the Memory Jar, Sensei's Divining Top, Tolarian Academy, Grim Monolith, Gaia's Cradle, Mox Diamond, Zekrom. That was today's. We did this Heracross, which there is a dimple here. This was a tag 10 if you watch the other video, but there's a dimple there, so I'm worried. I don't know if I did that or not. This is Lucas's Gengar. This is Ricky's Rocket Zapdos, Ninetales, Raichu, Vaporeon, and Mew. And then these are my other 4 that I cracked. This was a 9, and I totally... nope, not this one. This was a 9, and I got it out pretty good. This was a 10, and this one probably came out the best. The Skeletor, what I think it's called. And this Ho-Oh... there, right there, cracking it out, I kind of flubbed up and killed the side of it. So this was a 10. It will come back a 7 now. I'm aware of that, and that's fine. And this was also a 10, and this one came out pretty well too. So these 2 were 10s and came out good. This was a 9 and came out good. This was a 10 and got screwed up, and the other one was a 10, and I don't know if I made the dimple or if the dimple was there and tag just didn't catch it, but there is a dimple, so I know it won't come back a 10. Alright guys, that is video number 2. We got our 2 stacks of sports 1, 2 for the next 2 videos. We're going to be doing, I'm going to post this, and assuming I don't have someone texting me saying come pick me up, then I will start filming the next ones. So hopefully all 4 will be up in the next couple hours. I'll see you guys then. Bye.